It is hydraulic hose time. So last night, went and got new hoses made. The shop ordered the wrong hoses, brought them back on site. They said, okay, sorry. They went and built new hoses for me, which was beautiful. And so we're going to go install them. And of course, pizza boxes are great for containing the hydraulic fluid. All right, let's get this opened up. Always keep exposed hydraulic ports covered from rain and so forth, and dirt and dust. So I did a rag and a tarp because it's the way I roll. And there's my ports that are wide open. And over here, of course, is the manifold where the two hoses connect up. And we're going to have to route these correctly. Now, this one went to this back one. This one went to this top one. So that's what we're going to do. And there's a clamp down in here that holds the hose as well. Snakes through, comes back up under there. Now the other part is that the socks are loose on here. And I suppose I should zip tie these and clip it and make it neat before I go too far. But I do think I want the socks, kind of like these hoses down here. Those clips could be tighter. But have the socks fully covering things over here. If they're a little exposed on this side, well, I've got that metal plate and a cover there between me and any leaking hydraulic fluid if that ever happens again. Now, this end does not rotate. You have to spin the hose to put that on. So that's part of the deal too. You actually have to spin these puppies in here, thread them in like this, and then tighten them. So I'm going to do myself a favor. Group that together, zip ties down, and this is going to be challenging, so we'll just try this a little bit. It's a lot easier to undo this than redo it, let me tell you. Oh, there we go, caught the thread. And once we catch the thread, then we can just rotate that puppy in. That, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the right, oh, Weatherhead is the kind of hose they got. 6.4 millimeter, 1/4 inch, EN 857, blah 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 blah. Anyway, your hydraulic shop, you bring the hose to them. They'll figure out the ends. They'll be able to do this. The hoses that I was going to buy, which turned out to be the wrong ones, were like $100 a piece. They told me the ends on this are like $10 each end, plus $7 a foot. We're at 5 feet. We're talking about $50 a hose, basically. Okay. Now the sock, like I said, I want sock coverage all the way out here. So let me make sure that's done correctly. And again, my pizza box is being handy. So I'm going to put the zip tie on there. Clip it. Hopefully I've got something to actually clip it already. Put behind that clamp, so there shouldn't be much flexing going on anyway, but better be safe than sorry. That's all I can say about that. So sock, come here sock. Yeah, sock's gonna make it most of the way, it looks like. That's pretty good, huh? So that's one. This one will straighten this one out too. Sock over and pulled out. And likewise, the sock comes the whole way. Really nice. Okay. Next step really is to thread it through. And thread it through there. loop it around and have it come up to the proper spot. Now, if you really didn't know or didn't label where things came from, you could hook it all up and move the lever and figure out, oh shoot, I screwed up, and then swap them. You know, you leak a little bit of oil, but no big deal. Make sure the threads are clean. Get some gook off. Good. Let's see what happens. See? Here, I'll move you back here. I'm going to put it under the clamp. I'm going to put that later. Diagonal cutters, definitely a good thing to have. We'll put that. Make sure that's all tight in there. And just clip that. Ta-da! Easy peasy. Next step, we'll route underneath the clamp. Alright, so now we're going to route the hose underneath this clamp. That's it, 1/2 inch socket, and 1/2 inch fits perfectly. So that's that. We want to route it parallel, and at this point, this part of the hose shouldn't move when the boom moves. That's all back in there where the hose actually moves and all that stuff. So I'm going to snake this in, reach in below here, make sure it goes around. There's a pin back here, a vertical pin that I'm snaking this behind. And then we don't want any tight bends, of course. You want to keep things smooth. As smooth as good. And then, oh, come on, baby. Get that up in there. Now, that's where this comes in on this side. So you can see the hose coming up to here. Okay, now. Anything you put together, take the time and hand do it. Do not start powering it on so you have a couple turns. If you don't have a couple turns, you're doing it wrong. If the threads are buggered up, go chase the threads with a die or something like that. Okay, there we go. Nice and smooth, most of the way on by hand. Just like that. I'm double checking down below here. Let's see if I can't get in there for a better look at where the hoses came in. They went around this pillar, looped back, and then shot up there. So that's the story. And now they're connected. And this is where the clamp is. I suppose I could put the clamp in. That's probably a good idea now, because we're not really going to change things over here at all. Moment of truth. Did I do this properly? So we'll move the tools out of the way. That might be handy dandy. Usually a good idea to clean up. And flip the seat around once we start this up. Pretty much, I was running towards the shed when I put this in here. So the two hoses are swapped. I'll have to switch them out over here as far as directions go. This is what you do to alleviate the pressure. And also the front bucket hydraulics, we can alleviate the pressure there. So that's an easy fix. We'll do that. And we'll get this rolling again. So with that, I did leave the right wrench off to the side, which is nice. I'm going to swap these two hoses back and forth. And so they say to do, guard yourself against the hydraulic fluid. So I'm going to do is close my eyes. That's good. Oh! A little spillage, normal stuff. Ready? Everybody? Let's do it. And that's it. Now what I did most recently was I was noticing the hoses here, they weren't laying perfectly in the valley. So I pulled back a little bit from the loop from behind so that there would be less flexing and pulling of the hoses here. And I just kind of shove it down into this valley so that when it flexes it's only bending, and when it's just doing this as opposed to like pulling it as it moves down. That's it. We have I think a leak-free system here. I'm going to double check things, dry it off and try it again, and I think we're in good shape. If we're not, well, we'll fix that, right? Good. Now for the final bits, we'll put the cover back on and pretty much call it a day. So again, we got the bolts here. They go through some holes here, and that just sits on the back. Some long bolts back here. Yeah, okay. If you lose lock washers, go get new ones. Come on, lock washers are there for a reason. Okay, good stuff. That's done. This rag has seen better days. I might have to get a new one. And there we go. Thank you all for watching.